This is Bennett Lee. He is 1 month and 5 days old, and we're gonna do an update today on Mr. Bennett, our little Bennett babe. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Jess, if you don't know, and then Garrett is my husband. He is not going to be here today, he's at work. And this is Bennett, for those of us who do not know yet or don't follow me on Instagram. This is our baby we just had. I guess not just, he's now a month old and 5 days old, which also today is his 5-week update as well. So I thought I'd come on here and make a video. I kept pushing it off, because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do it whenever he gets a good night of sleep. Okay, so that would not be for a long time. So here we are. I'm gonna let him make an appearance before he gets too fussy because it is almost his morning nap time. It's 8 o'clock in the morning when we're filming this, and he usually goes down for a nap around 8 or 8:15. So for those of you who do not know or haven't seen any previous videos or don't follow us on Instagram, Bennett is our first little babe, so he is very spoiled and he's getting a lot of attention and we love him so much. The first few weeks of having him home, he did a lot of sleeping, which I guess is pretty normal with newborns. They come home and they do a lot of sleeping and you think like they're these perfect angel babies. He did all this napping throughout the day, like 2-hour stretches, and he was sleeping every 1 to 2 hours at night, which is kind of what we expected with a newborn and wanting to feed. He was pretty fussy in between sleeps. He's pretty colicky, kind of struggling with some reflux problems. So it was kind of one of those things where we wanted him to be awake so we could see him and play with him, but he really was pretty angry in between those times. We kind of wanted him sleeping all the time anyway because that was the only time he got relief. These days he is doing a lot better between naps. Obviously he's not crying too much. He's a little fussy just again because I said it's almost nap time, but and he has the hiccups right now, so I think he might be spitting up on me here any second. That's why I have the burp rag draped around us both. Look at his little face. He is pretty expressionate. He did a lot of mean mugging when he first got home. I'll put some pictures up here, but he constantly had his little eyebrows scrunched up and would make these little frown faces at us. Again, I think he just was probably having gas pain, but it was kind of hard not to laugh and think he's the cutest thing ever when he made that face. And now he is not only just smiling in his sleep, but he's also smiling at mom and dad when we look at him and make noises and he hears our voices. Especially when I sing to him, he likes to listen to us sing and play guitar. Oh my gosh, I love that the camera is tracking his face. He's just the cutest little human, look at him. Ah, I'm obsessed. So we are smiling, which is really fun, mainly in the morning. Haven't really heard any laughs except for in his sleep. He's been picking up his head, or at least lifting it, especially when I'm trying to burp him or if he's doing some tummy time, he'll lift his head and turn it side to side. Bennett loves bath time. He thinks that's pretty fun. He loves the warm water, and he hates Velcro. So we use right now we're using Swaddle Me's for his bedtime stuff, and in the middle of the night when we pull off that Velcro strap in the middle, he jumps pretty good, which I'm sure most babies do, but he hates the Velcro. Even though like the Velcro's down on his diaper, he'll jump to that too. He really doesn't mind being changed too much. He doesn't mind having diapers changed either, unless you're taking too long on wiping his bottom. But for the most part, as long as he's fed and being held, he is just happy as can be. What do you think? What do you think? Look at that strong boy. You keeping your head up? Yeah, bub. What you think? Oh, look at that light. Look at the light. We're filming right in front of a window, so he's like, ooh, ooh. So if you hear his hiccups still, that's because he's right beside me. So for those of you who think that he really just kind of eats, sleeps, and poops, you are totally correct. So when Bennett was born, he was 7 pounds, 14 ounces. He dropped down to 7'7" by the time we were discharged. Within a couple days when we went back to the breastfeeding clinic to check out his weight again, he was already back up to 7'12", which for those of you who don't know, usually babies don't get back up to their birth weight, or not usually. the window usually is within 2 to 3 weeks of life. They get back up to that birth weight. So he was back up to it within 2 days. So he is feeding well and loving it. He eats as if he's never gonna eat again. For the most part, he's a pretty efficient feeder. He will take probably, like, if I'm lucky, I can get him to go 8 to 10 minutes on one side, and then if I flip, he'll eat maybe 3 to 5 minutes on the other, and he's done. So I know some newborns can take, you know, a good 30 minutes to get a good feed, and thankfully he eats pretty well unless he's cluster feeding before bed. And so now he weighs, at 1 month and 5 days, he's weighing 10 pounds and 2 ounces. And his length was 20.5 inches long when he first was born, and now he is just under 22 inches long, which I think they said is like a 65th percentile or something. As for his sleeping, I actually ended up taking the Taking Care of Babies class, which I will be sure to link down below. But if any other new moms watching this, or anyone who's getting ready to have a baby, I would definitely recommend watching or even purchasing the classes or going through her blogs, or just follow her on Instagram, because she puts a lot of information on Instagram even too about baby sleep. She has so many different classes. We obviously took the newborn class, which was 0 to 12 weeks. And I feel like almost right away it was helping immensely. There was maybe last week he slept 1 4-hour stretch in the evening, but for the most part he was sleeping 3 to 4 hours. He's been sleeping about 2-hour stretches over this last weekend. But again, because we were messing with his daytime schedule, we were in a wedding over the weekend. I completely forgot to mention that Bennett had his first ring bearer gig. So here are some photos of him in his little outfit. If I had to pinpoint some of my favorite things about Bennett at this time right now, I love when he stretches. When I get him out of the little swaddle me, he just gets his whole body into it, arches his back, and just throws his arms straight above his head. I love when he makes like a little face, especially like right after he's done feeding. He'll like make a face like he makes like a kissy face almost, and like raises his eyebrows. He's like, it's way cuter because the baby's doing it, but that's the face he's making. I think one of my other things that I love is whenever we are breastfeeding, he will like take his hands and kind of like a cat kneading, he'll have like his bottom arm kind of wrapped around me right here, and he'll like kind of like grab at my side, and I just think he just like slowly kind of does it like he's kneading, almost like a cat, and it's just the sweetest feeling. I feel like he's just like telling me like, Mom, thank you, like I love you. That's how I see it. He's probably just doing it just because he's a baby, but I feel like he's telling me he loves me, so don't take that away from me. I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying. He loves looking at the fan, he loves looking at light. I really feel like that's pretty much it for a newborn update for his 1 month. And so while I was on here, I just also wanted to do a quick postpartum body update, a 1 month update, I guess, on where I am. That way I can look back and kind of see where I am, I guess, in future pregnancies even. I gained exactly 35 pounds the day before I delivered Bennett. And then today I weighed and I had lost 23 of that 35. So that makes me at 12 pounds to go, I think. Yes? Sure. Sounds good. 12 pounds to go, I guess, to get down to my pre-pregnancy weight. Any bleeding that I had to begin with was pretty much done by 2.5-ish weeks postpartum, so I don't have anything anymore. It was all pretty light for me, thank goodness. The last time I was on here talking about stretch marks, I had none on my belly whatsoever. Only place that I was having stretch marks was on my breasts, and now I have some on my like my lower stomach, and some like on my top, like upper thighs almost, which those are almost faded again. Like those all showed up literally like within the last several days of being pregnant. Just because Bennett was like dropping, he was getting lower and lower into my pelvic bowl, and I think my skin was just like overwhelmed by that sudden stretch there. So I think I got some pictures of myself like 3 or 4 days postpartum, and then I got some right before a week postpartum, and then I got some like 3 weeks postpartum, and then this is going to be obviously a 5-week postpartum. So here is a belly update. I feel like I lost a lot of belly weight right away, and these last several weeks have just been kind of like slowly happening, but here I am. This is a little bit more than I used to have before. Here's some of those stretch marks. I don't know if you can even see them on the camera. Still got my line, but just some fluffier spots and some places that I can definitely tackle, I guess, as I feel more comfortable with working out. And Bennett babe is still awake, and I'm gonna go put him down right now. So I thought we'd just wrap it up real quick. Thank you again for following along and watching our videos. Obviously, sorry we've been a little inactive just because we've been learning a new norm and trying to get sleep with our little babe. But if you guys ever have any suggestions, you're always more than welcome to let us know on videos. He's so cute. Thanks again. We love you guys. Hope you have a blessed day, and peace